Senior year of high school. Varsity ice hockey championships. Sweat drips down my brow and stings my eyes as time stops. Impact jolts through my hands as my stick collides with the frost-covered puck. My eyes widen, tracking the puck as it slices through the air and buries in the net. My teammates slam into me in celebration and we take off, pumping our sticks overhead and skating down the ice as we watch the crowd erupt. Muffled cheers reach my ears like echoes underwater. I can't hear the fans, not like you can, but I feel every bit of glory. I'm a lifelong athlete. I also have hearing loss. Sports have given me confidence, resilience, and joy. But I'm lucky. For millions of kids with disabilities in the US, access to sports is not just difficult. It's often impossible. When kids with disabilities don't have access to sports, they miss out on so much more than the game. They lose out on physical health, mental well-being, and the deep sense of belonging that comes with being part of a team. I'll let you in on a secret. I am a master of mimicry. As a kid, I worked around my hearing loss. I trained relentlessly, memorized playbooks to compensate for missed instructions, and became an expert at reading those around me, learning to trust my intuition to anticipate plays. And this worked. I became MVP of my ice hockey team and an All-American lacrosse player. So why not take it up a notch? Freshman year of college, Division I lacrosse at Cornell. Everything is bigger, faster, harder. I'm a goalie and the team's anchor, but the game moves faster than I can hear it, and I quickly fall behind. I was ashamed of my disability, and I was determined not to let it define me. In doing so, I refused help. But suddenly, my workarounds weren't enough. Senior year of college, I'm finally ready for help. I just got hearing aids, and I've entered a new dimension of the game. For the first time, I can hear the snap of a pass before it reaches my line of sight, or the subtle shift in the opponent's footing before they wind up for a shot. I'm not just keeping up. I'm taking charge. Hearing aids were my relatively simple tool to stay in the game, even when it felt like access was slipping away from me. But what does access look like for the rest of the millions of kids with disabilities? In the US, over 3 million kids under the age of 18 have a disability, yet only 2% have access to adaptive sports programs. The programs that do exist offer adaptive equipment and a supportive community, enabling these kids to thrive. But there are far too few of these programs, and they have limited reach. When you get to the college level, access shrinks even further. Only 1% of American colleges offer adaptive sports. What happens to the thousands of kids who do grow up loving sports, but have nowhere to go after high school? And what about the millions who never even get the chance to try? When we see the Paralympics and Special Olympics, we see what is possible when we invest in these kids. These athletes are elite. They are driven, disciplined, and unstoppable. Their success showcases the power of access. With access, we can redefine the limits of human potential. but you can't become elite if you can't get on the field. The pipeline is too narrow and far too steep. Mainstreaming adaptive sports is not about widening the narrow pool of elite athletes. It is about ensuring that all kids have the same opportunity to build confidence, to be part of a team, and to experience the joy of play. Remember, only 2% of kids with disabilities in the US have access to adaptive sports programs. 2%. So, what can we do? If you're a parent, teacher, or coach, push for your school to start an adaptive sports program. Does your school have wheelchair basketball? What about a lift into the pool? If not, why not? If you're a policymaker or advocate, demand federal funding of adaptive sports in schools. Without requirements, funding is optional and often non-existent. Change this. If you simply love sports, don't just watch the Olympics. Also watch the Paralympics and Special Olympics. Follow adaptive athletes on social media. Buy tickets. Talk about them. Your support matters. And finally, as a member of any community, find a local adaptive sports program near you and get involved. Volunteer, donate, or spread the word. I took my own advice and I got involved. For the past 4 years, I volunteered with Kids Enjoy Exercise Now, whose mission is to empower youth with disabilities through sport. My first time coaching, I met a young athlete. We'll call him Joe. Joe was 8 and wore a matching black Nike basketball outfit. Nonverbal, he was terrified of the court and flinched at every ball that came his way. You see, Joe was dressed for the part, but he was unsure of his place in the game. We met Joe where he was and let him move at his own pace. And through this, we learned something. Joe may have been wary of basketball, but he loved to run. For Joe, basketball became a race, and suddenly he was part of the game. With each practice, his confidence grew, and soon he was looking his teammates and coaches in the eye. When it came time to showcase what Joe had learned in front of a crowd of teammates, parents, and coaches, Joe, the kid who once hid on the sidelines, now proudly claimed center court, gripping his inflatable ball. He took a deep breath, planted his feet, and let the ball fly. Swish! Clean into the butterfly net. The crowd erupted, but louder than the cheers was the smile beaming from Joe's face. He lit up the room. That basket was a breakthrough. It was what happens when kids have the chance to play, to belong, to triumph. Now, imagine if Joe never had that chance. For millions of kids with disabilities, that is their reality. A world where every kid gets to play sports is not a dream. It's a decision. And that decision starts now. Thank you.